Today for the official launching of the GIZ EU Tekki education and training programs in LRR. Mr. Deputy Governor, Mr. Chairman, Masakonko Area Council, Team Leader GIZ, Chief of Jara West, and the Youth Representative Coordinator LRR, our elders and other chiefs who are present, head of institutions and our implementing partners, young people of Jara and Kia with LRR. We welcome you all to this gathering. My role is just to be coordinating and calling the speakers, so I will not bore you much. Chairman of Masakonko Area Council to give us the welcome remarks and what we've done to the youth. Mr. Sane, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony, Mr. Cham. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Good morning to you all. By protocol, let me observe the table opposite, of course, the general public, starting with the Deputy Governor, Lower River Region, Mr. Dabo, the representative of GIZ in LRR, Mr. Fabio, the head chief, and of course our host of the district, Alaji Sefo Yaya Jajusi, the chairman of the Lower River Region Youth Committee, Mr. Sehu Dabo, other venerable local and authorities here present, I mean the head chiefs of other districts here present, notably Kiang Central and Kiang East, staff of the Masakonko Area Council, staff of GIZ and other partners of this project here present, distinguished youth and children from across Lower River Region and beyond, other partners from other institutions, the TAC, Technical Advisory Committee of Lower River Region, our very good friends in the media, ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. Let me take this moment in the first place to return thanks and appreciations to the Almighty Allah for giving us the life to live and witness this very important occasion. As it was earlier on introduced, and of course with the information available on our desk pertaining to this very important project we call Tekki, that I know and understand in the Wolof language means making it here. In other words, we can make it here. I think that is very laudable, and I am not very sure who probably have given the name or who have contributed in branding the project, but it's a very catching name, and I think it's really fit enough to name a project of this nature. So I want to return thanks to Allah and also thanks and appreciations to the institution GIZ and other partners in designing and coming up with a project like this. I'm very much aware that my job is simple, that is to welcome you and also probably give a goodwill message as far as this gathering is concerned. Particularly, my background is youth in development work. And I think that is the more reason why we are here. We want to contribute in supporting our youth to develop themselves, to be able to develop themselves and develop their communities and the country at large. In which case, they will be given some relevant skills, capacity, to be able to do it on their own, to be able to be dependent on themselves, to be able to create their own employment rather than seeking for employment. Of course, to be able to mobilize their own income so that they are able to sustain themselves and become better citizens of this country. I think that is commendable. In that view, I want to, on behalf of the local authorities, of course, including the parents, the opinion leaders, the women, the youth, our fathers and mothers, our children, appreciate the efforts of everybody that have contributed in one way or the other to get this project to where it is today. As we launch the project, I know we are all with great inspiration, we are all with good energy to have a very good beginning, of course, to have a very good implementation and get the project cycle done very successfully. And may God, the Almighty Allah, help us to fulfill the mission. On that note, I want to, on behalf of course, the governor who is unavailably absent, but of course the deputy is here, the chiefs, the authorities and the parents and the young people at large, welcome you all to Lower River Region, those of our guests, and of course ourselves, we all welcome ourselves to our own region and assure you that we will, of course, be willing and ready to play our part to make sure that we contribute our quota to make this project one of the most successful projects ever in this country. I am very much convinced, as local authorities, we can do that, and we will be willing and ready to do that. Of course, as primary stakeholders or as primary service providers, much of what will be done by this project will complement the efforts of the area council and the local authorities. So we will not in any way want to be found wanting as far as the implementation of this project is concerned. And by saying that, I want to assure the project team that we have our doors wide open. At every time that our services may be needed, we will be ready and willing to participate. To conclude, I want to give this simple advice to my youth. I'm very much sure we all appreciate the environment that is created for us to participate meaningfully for our own development and the development of our country. As such, we are witnessing the launching of this very important project. But then, it may be seen as a right. In other words, it may as well be seen as a privilege. But then, there are responsibilities attached to projects and interventions of this nature. In as much as we want to enjoy the privilege that is available to us, please, let's be ready to take up our responsibilities to make sure that we contribute meaningfully to make the project successful. By saying that, those of you who will be called to benefit from the project, I'm sure it targets Lower River Region, but specifically some of us will be lucky to be direct beneficiaries of the project. Let us not take the project lightly. Some of these are rare opportunities that may not come your way for the second time. So make hay while the sun shines. The opportunity is at your doorstep. please utilize it to the fullest. On that note, I welcome all of you and thank you very much for coming. Thanks.
So we hope when we are leaving this hall today, we all go home with that catchy name, Tekki Sakenoya. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for assuring us the authority's commitment and support during the implementation of this project. We will be learning and we will be following up with the authority, consulting the authority, so as to meet the needs and aspirations of the young people of Clara. You will be found wanting. That is really assuring for us. We hope along the way, we also will not be found wanting. Our doors are open to the IPs and the stakeholders. So our implementing partners, let us utilize the doors of authority that has been opened for us. For the youth, this is a rare occasion. So please, let us not allow our elders and adults to find us wanting when they've given us all the support that is necessary for us to progress. Let's make sure we utilize this project is for us, the young people. Let's make best use of it for our own good and the development of our region LRR, and subsequently for the development of the Gambia. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I now have the honor to invite the regional youth representative, Mr. Sekou Dago, to make a statement on behalf of the youth. Since this is the occasion for the youth will also...
I got certain capacities through him. He exposed me to business advisory service, which today I'm serving my young people. I am writing business plan for my young people at free, and I think that is a very, very, very big resources. So I will do on justice to him if I don't also pronounce that. Mr. Cham, I'm very much grateful. I want to follow protocol and recognize the presence of our able Deputy Governor, Mr. Dabo. I equally want to recognize the presence of the chairman who has nurtured most of us in the youth work in this region, Mr. Landing Bisane. We recognize your presence. I equally want to recognize the presence of our head chief, Mr. Alhaji Yahya Jajusi. Chief, we recognize your presence and we realize your support to young people. In terms of youth development, you are always with us. We recognize your presence. We equally want to recognize the representative for the GIZ project in LRR. Shall we recognize your presence in our region? I also want to recognize the presence of the chiefs present. I want to recognize the team of GIZ in the hall. I will not also forget the media who is letting our voices being heard all over the world. I recognize your presence. I equally want to recognize the presence of the differently able who is present with us, Mr. Ibrahima Jallo. Mr. Ibrahima, we recognize your presence. I also want to recognize the presence of our honorable, that is Mr. Boubacar Jallo. Mr. Jallo, we recognize your presence and all the other young people present here. I am very much happy today because the reason behind my happiness is I could remember when I was duly elected as a youth care person of this region. We had a caravan tour to talk to young people to stay in this region and stay in the Gambia. Because those days we were having a challenge. In 2015, Gambia was second to Nigeria in terms of number of young people migrating from the sub-region to the Europe using the bagway. The Gambia was second. And considering Gambia's population and the number of young people living in the Gambia was just alarming. So the Regional Youth Committee took it upon itself to go around the villages of this region to sensitize young people to stay. But there was a very, very serious question I was asked with which I have no answer. That was, you want us to stay. You want us to stay here with no job. You want us to look into our father's eyes every day in the morning when they will look at us and tell us that you are not bringing a dime in the family. So that question kept lingering in my heart and in my mind. I couldn't get answers. But today I will say that I'm one of the most proud youth care person because this is what I've been fighting for. Almost every program that I went to, I announced this, my young people needs job. But I want to say thank you very much to GIZ and their team for coming to our aid. The past 2 years or 3 years, youth unemployment in this country was 38%. And during that past 3 years, LRR happens to have the highest youth unemployment rate. And as we know, poverty equally very high in this region. But today, the youth unemployment rate has also increased to 43%, shocking 43%. And the population of the country, young people forms 63% of the population. And if 63% of that population, majority is being poor, I think that is more than alarming. But we want to say that we've seen GIZ coming to address that problem. But that problem will never be addressed if we, the young people, don't take the lead. We realize that this project started operating in this region. The project aimed at covering 2 regions, that is LRR and URR. So we are very lucky indeed for employment problem to be addressed. But I want to tell young people that you already get a white-collar job. I want to tell you that a white-collar job is not to tie a necktie and go and sit in the office. It's not a white-collar job. I bet if any one of you want to continue going to offices and knock for your job and you want to be rich, I want to tell you that you will never be rich for the rest of your life. Our veteran workers are here who have worked in their entire life. They go home with nothing, obviously, and they are still poor. Where you can be rich is when you have a hard skill. Skill can make you rich in this country. None of the officers starting from the ministers downward will tell you that I get $2,000 daily. My salaries can pay me $2,000 daily. But today, if you are a technician, you are skilled, you employ people, and you pay them, and you pay yourself. So tell me who will be richer than you? Today in the world, according to reports, the world's one population is controlling 90% of the world wealth. And most of these people are technicians. We've seen the likes of Yusundur. Yusundur is a skilled person. We are not talking about skills only in the carpentry and all. Even performance arts, the skills. And it's a very good skills. We've seen griots in this world who has the wealth. So I want to tell the young people of my region that our complaints has come to an end. We may not have any chance to complain anymore because it is being provided at our doorstep. Today, a lot of researches has been done in our region. Institutions will be helped. Today, already, the GTTI is under construction, trying to revitalize and improve in this region. A lot of institutions, the Girls Guide is on that process. So we may not have anything to say. So all what I want to urge you and challenge you and myself is, even if you are sitting in the office, please learn skills. Even if you are in the office, learn skills. Being differently able, you can learn skills, you can venture into business. We must understand that today the world is controlled by businessmen and women. When we all go to school, normally what will happen is the best students will be taken to science field. Second to those, we think those supposed to go into the arts field or commerce field. Those who are not very bright will be dropouts. We will call them dropouts. Where will they venture into is the business. But today, when you look at the world settings, who is controlling the world? And who is making sure that the politicians work is the businessmen and women. So I think it is high time we control the world through entrepreneurship. It's very possible in our region. We can make it here. And please, I want to say already there are trainings going on right now. I want to challenge every young people who has been interviewed during the process and you've been called to attend this training, please take this training with seriousness. There are a lot of young people in this region. As the saying goes, many are called and few are chosen. So if you happen to be part of those few chosen people, please don't deprive others from the advantage, and you get the advantage, you are not utilizing that advantage. We understand that trainings are going on, but please, let's talk to our young people, youth leaders. Let's encourage them to take this training seriously. There are a lot of fundings coming, but if you don't get any of this training, you cannot be funded. So we must understand that, and we must take this training seriously. And we must also, when we go back, we must be ready to disseminate this information. Because you must be certified before you can access any of these funds. That should be very, very much clear. Let one not be sitting at your corner thinking that the project comes for young people, so I can access it anyhow I want. If you are not trained, and this is just the synopsis. The training is just one part of it. It's just the tip of it. They will train you. After training you, there are other trainings coming. But they believe that if you are not trained in business, you are not business-minded, you wouldn't take business seriously. So we want our young people to take this training seriously and participate very well. So on that note, I don't want to bore you with too much speech, but I want to tell you that this is a day that we must all embrace, and this is a day that we must all celebrate. Celebrate in the sense that people come to our doorstep and said, we want to make you millionaires. And we should be ready to grab that. So on that note, I want to thank you all for your kind attention and also coming to grace this occasion. Thank you very much.
That is being availed to you. Let us utilize it and make good use of it. Skill is rich. That is very true. Skill is very rich. People with skill are very rich. So let us count ourselves lucky if the opportunity is given to us to acquire skill and subsequently acquire business. Entrepreneurs control the world. That is definitely true. Because even presidents need entrepreneurs. Government cannot do it all. So if we are to address our unemployment today, we need to develop our entrepreneurship base. So if you are fortunate enough to be selected, provided training, provided skill and business training, let's make good use of it. Many are called, but few are chosen. But if those few that are chosen are committed, they can embrace the many that we are called earlier. So if you are called for training, if you are called to be supported, come on board, go and create your own business, at least provide employment for one of your people. They will be able to provide food for their families and reduce the dependency and reduce unemployment in our region. So let us embrace and celebrate this. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. We really appreciate those works. Now we will call on Mr. Badwe Delmano, the GIZ representative from Gambia.
Mr. Deputy Region, person of the area council, and local authorities, Mr. of Lower River, honorable invite media, dear students, I thought joining us today, to the chairperson but most importantly, grateful for all the regional authorities opened their doors to us ever since, even before it was approved. What was clear from us from the common mission, and then people in Lower to find their own future, to shape their own commitment project funded, which we are implementing as the GIZ. Word, cast importantly, a collective commitment of all of us. I think it's very important for all of the responsibilities. This is an objective all alone. Together we need to cooperate, ensure that all conditions for others and ambitious objectives. I think that known in this region, thanks to Skills for Reintegration, roughly a year ago, working very intensely with the training center, skills training project, is a variety ranging from the rehabilitation equipment of the center, development, training of, and of course, training opportunities, installation and rural supporting them jobs. I presence of actually just arrived, Mr. No, shaking hands with him, but this morning, meet with you individually. Monica, who's been here already a few. Christiane, she just me this morning. I saw her somewhere. So they have been here already, basically opened the way. Coming with a slightly, so with the same objective, young people, opportunity, employment. And the way this is in a double one through, so basically we have a series of partners that I will do to make here in this week opportunities, training courses, but also quality training. At the same time, we also want entrepreneurs among the youth who want to start their own business, those who have started a business, have already established, to expand, want the production, and maybe we're there also to entrepreneurs. I want to honor a great number of us here today. National Youth Council by Mr. They have been instrumental sensitization information. They have been going all to sensitize young people, and I think if you are here with us today, I think able to reach out even most remote areas. Thank association. They first launching the national. You will see a drama to organize it, but they were all life skills training. Then we have a series of partners. Two of them are in the Boy Scout guides with of an interesting past. They numerous training courses. Revive these courses. They have a great potential. So we want to ensure that future we will with President Intern, and so they will be comprehensive skills training course skills, installation, beauty and making, block laying and plastering, poultry, small room. Diversify as much as possible. Will finally maybe find their skills as here in local region, either for the back way, because there are lots of region coming to the Gambia. They know that the opportunities should be the first to, and as our representatives said, many wills are instruments of these opportunities. Working with a series of partner business development area to acknowledge the presence of the National Association Unions of the Gambia. Will be responsible for management of the Tekki Fee project, offering young people a possible materials, equipment, the production, ensure sustainable families, but also to employ. With three GAIPA, Gambian Chamber of Commerce Startup Incubator Gambia, who involved in entrepreneur. This is the foundations for start their business. This training will comprise intensive with business planning and these, but it will be following intense business code. Then Eddie, who will be in leadership training, we also want value of this region is huge. So the agripreneurship, and then we will be to enhance businesses established, as I mentioned, of the trade, so related to agriculture, agripreneurship, to link those skills to also become the Gambian economy. Employ people will be graduating from technical. Encourage you to be. We encourage you to nurse and to market your skill to learn a sustainable manner. So what we will be offering years and in union for placing this project to address briefly people in this room. I think you have been selected among. It was a very and if because you different potential. Former speakers have already clear you to be able to go intense. It will be request a lot of hard work. So you bear responsibility in your own success. Successful in the Gambia yourself, you really have, and you have to get conditions fulfilled to build your own life, and from where we are going to lead after the graduation may be placed or attached, then you will be on your own. Important that in these next 6 the duration of the courses we will be punctual and respect. So really to make it in the Gambia. Very important to understand the importance of this. It is an investment. I want to thank from the media. They have been helping us disseminate not only in the they're doing in sensitizing young people, understand that the Upper Gambia, they are not take risks on their own. And the gets lost along. Sometimes it's we want to make sure that you and get all the opportunities to lead a successful life. Well, once again, for help, we look forward to go. Thank you.
be self-employed since employment that the population of the country. The program will come, and therefore to be committed to leave. Because I believe with the assistance from the authorities, we will be able to what is in message. We can make it in a very much value. Next.
My name is Boubacar Diallo. I want to read a to youths my to all experience. Discover Europe in Africa. Everywhere in Africa, into Europe. Looking for them is the same. Most to Europe in look when they can make their is here. Poor people look, that's why most of never youths are dying this journey. All those youths in the Mediterranean Sea. If you what is going to it will be the coast of Africa. Left will be crying for Asia. In the those doing money, people jobs and ever come back. I want young men from their responsibilities, government of Africa. Have you ever think of those who lost their lives? Together we can make together. The money you want, do not keep it with you and seek for advice, and I will make it. Thank you.
A lot of those are the so I will thank the governor.
Thank you very much. I think it's Ahmadiyya Senior Secondary School. I stand to for this very vintage that an other representative transmit this message across very much. All, and I believe good afternoon. Mansakonko area chiefs and present, institutions and partners present, trainees present, Clear House present, work councillors. And indeed, a great pleasure of us to officiate over the launching of in LRR EU-funded project for vocational education and business youth in the training program today is the Tekki funded by the European for Africa. Objective is the socio-economic development, positive local population, migrants. It is complemented by the agency, the Portuguese NGO, VF, is with us, GIS activating for youth in areas and 40 beneficiaries and 5 BD directly. We are launching in developing this of LRR. We dare you to make best use given to you. We would like to thank them of the implement for cooperation and their help towards of targets of youth region. Support mechanism to trainees their dreams, aspirations, counseling, and a solar provided in a time to enhance of the trade and significantly increase the chance of the trainees. This approach into the trade subject areas such skills, technical, right, mathematics, coaching. We would like to congratulate trainees fully applied currently by GCCI on art and business being trained by GCCI and we admire your courage, your determination in your future. Dear current mind with this that set to acquire these various traits, a guarantee life and above all life of hope. We want to wish you in your easy but and business knowledge be acquired, hopefully find and make it. Hard work will eventually yield their fruits office. Encourage to supporting after series with we hope come project all the TVET and BD trainings will be fully and engaged respective to provide an employment for other partner river region to whom much is expected. Of optimism once more thanks to all of this training program. Forward to being with you all for your attention and all this and success of the project endeavor to win the Gambia. Thank you. governor of the region, we have the very project in the lower river.
Thank you very much.